Welcome to the show, Mr. Frans Mlambo, all the
Right.
way from Dublin, Ireland, back in the hometown. How's things going, man?
Oh man, it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. Yeah, it's all good.
Good stuff, man. So it's a strange one. Obviously, you're a South African. You were born in South Africa, fighting out of SBG Dublin. So strange enough, the South African media aren't, or not the media, but the South African MMA fans don't necessarily know too much about you, who you are. The guys that are paying attention clearly do.
Yeah.
So why don't you just talk us through that about how your South African association works? Obviously, you were born here as a small child. So just talk us through that, being born in South Africa to eventually moving to Dublin.
Yeah, well, born here. Well,
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
So I started, doing karate and stuff at a young age back home. My dad is, one of my dad's friends was like a black belt, so he started teaching me stuff as well, and then moved on then to do boxing when I moved over to Ireland.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then eventually I moved over to MMA. But I actually realized just talking to somebody, I done it all in like 5-year periods.
Okay.
I done karate for 5 years, done boxing for 5 years, but now I'm doing MMA. I think just a bit over 5 years, so I'm sticking with that now. But what's it called? I think the reason like I'm not so well known in South Africa is because obviously I'm South African and stuff like that, but I haven't been back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe if I visited more or something and I've been around, they probably would have heard about me more. You know what I'm saying? But
So
I think that's what it is.
you stopped by. When was it this year?
February.
Beginning of February.
February this year.
Sort out your passport kind of thing. That was your first
Yeah.
time back in what, like 10 years?
15, bro.
15 years. Okay. Fair enough.
Shit.
So it was like a 15 years absence.
Yeah.
So just talk us through how that all worked out. Obviously you were born here, you moved to Ireland. Why did you move to Ireland and how did that all come about?
Well, my mum moved over with my little brother, work and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to be with mummy, so
Okay.
I moved over myself because I have an older sister as well.
Okay.
That stayed in South Africa, but she just never wanted to move over
Okay.
for some reason. And then I have a niece as well. That's only 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
I have a new niece now as well. But anyways, they didn't want to come over. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But at the same time, me and my mom and my little brother, we were never in the position to be able to come back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And obviously things are getting better for us now. And I'm gonna start visiting. I think maybe 2-3 times a year now.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I can. But before, when I'd have the time to visit, I wouldn't have the money. And when
Sure.
I'd have the money to visit,
the
I wouldn't have the time. You know what I mean? And it just
Sure.
kept going like that for a few years. Even when I was working and making money and stuff like that, it just wasn't happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The opportunities just weren't there presenting themselves. But things is changing now. I've been here for a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be here for a
Yeah,
month. I'm here
sure.
like 3 weeks now, and
Sure.
it's been the best time in my life, without fail. Like I absolutely love South Africa. I think I might move here, but the only problem is it's gonna take some convincing to
Yeah.
get my girlfriend to move over. She hasn't been over yet,
Yeah.
and I'm looking to change that pretty soon as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so because you spent a bit of time here the last time, you had to get some passport issues sorted
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Obviously, you spoke about the martial arts, and I think this is one of the craziest things about martial arts is that how weird is it that you left for 15 years, never came back, and it was MMA that actually brought you back to where it all began, and now you
Yeah.
get the opportunity to fight here, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite surreal.
Yeah.
So just talk us through further on that MMA journey. Obviously, you mentioned karate, you did a bit of boxing and moved into the MMA. So just talk us through from that young boy doing karate to arriving the first day at SBG.
Yeah. So like I was always just into martial arts in general. Like growing up watching
Yeah.
all them movies. You know what I mean?
Van Damme.
Van Damme, Chuck Norris, you know yourself, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, all them
Sure.
boys, you know what I mean? And I've always wanted to do that. And so martial arts is the first thing that got me. But at the time, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a movie star. You know what I mean? I was like, because like my mom moved over to Ireland like a few years before I went to her. So I knew I was gonna go over there eventually,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to America, and then I'm gonna become a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So that was the plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was doing all that then. But at that stage, like even when I moved over to Ireland first, we were moving around a lot. So I never actually went past a flipping orange belt.
Okay.
Because I'd go to a gym, be learning stuff, and then I'd move to a different one. You always have to start from the beginning,
start
especially
fresh.
at that young age, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I started fresh, I think about like 6 times, just because I was moving around, you know what I mean? But I kept learning, and I was pretty alright at it, like I liked it, so I enjoyed the training. And then eventually I moved over to boxing, and how that happened was I was just watching, there was this program, and it was just all the greats of boxing. Like it was on like Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, you know, the greats, like Roy Jones, all the boys, right? And then I was like, I'm liking this, like I think I can do this, you know what I'm saying? And then one of my friends just took me to a boxing club, and I started just to test it out. And the coach was like, here, do you want to just like stay with us? Like, and I felt pretty comfortable. I think it kind of came natural, boxing did to me. I was kind of alright with it from the start, so I was just like, oh yeah, I'll do this. As time, and then I got onto the Irish team. I was traveling with, and all this was happening while I had a South African passport. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for Ireland. And then I eventually was just getting sick of boxing. Like the boxing, amateur boxing in Ireland is very political. You know what I mean? There's a lot of,
all boxing.
Yeah, like all boxing, exactly. But it just stopped being fun for me. You know what I'm saying? And then, but at the same time, I was watching MMA, and then I had another friend that was already in an MMA club, SBG, obviously, and then he brought me down. I started that like that as well, and that was more into what I was into, because it was MMA, you know what I mean? It was a mixed, it was martial arts, so
more expression.
You could kick, exactly, you could do different stuff, and I could bring the karate and the boxing and mix it all in there, which is what I just absolutely loved. And then from the very beginning, I was sparring all the professionals. Like when I was there, like I was already sparring Connor and all the rest of the boys that were already pros at the time, and I was only in it. And then John Cavan eventually just said, yeah, might as well just join us. You know what I mean? Might as well stick with us. And then I was like, yeah, like I'm liking this, like I'm liking what's happening here. And then you know, started planning the career and stuff like that. Then eventually became, but I'm only pro like I think a year or two. It's not long.
Yeah, it's short
and I'm
time,
doing it. I'm doing it like 4 years, I think. But I wanted to make sure that my career, my amateur career, was in order, because I didn't want to move into the professional without having something there. You know what I mean? And getting the gold at the World Championship, I think, did that for me. I was like, well, might as well go pro now. And I ended my amateur career at 13-2. I think that's including the fights at the IMMF as well.
The championships.
Exactly. So and like I posted a pic there with my cousin, and like, cause he's the guy that started training me and stuff like that when I was like real young. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful now, after not seeing him for so long, after not being here for so long, I'm back and I'm fighting, and they're gonna all get to see me fight. You know what I mean? And I was doing a bit of training with him there as well, and it was just bringing back some mad memories. You know what I mean? It's like the last time I probably seen this guy, I was doing the exact same thing, training with him, and now I'm back 15, 16 years later, and we're doing the exact same thing. But now this time it's obviously
a little bit more real.
It's a little bit more real. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like a flipping fairy tale story. You know what I mean?
It is, man.
And I'm loving it.
It's so crazy to think that, like, well, firstly, that MMA on this long path has brought you back to South Africa, and secondly, a Middle Eastern-based MMA promotion, you know, which is quite strange. I know we spoke about the EFC before, but Brave is your home at the moment. I just wanted to talk through that. Obviously, you the last time you were here, which was in February, you were fighting for the title against.
No, that was
the
fight before the title.
The fight before the title. So number one contender.
Contender. So
the contendership, and then you went on to fight for the title. You lost. It was a close decision. It was a tough fight. There was a bit of argument that it could have gone your way.
They say that, but the thing is with that fight, right? Stephen Lohman, like, is a great fighter. Real smart fighter, real good fighter. Like, I fought him twice, and the two fights nearly went the exact same. Like, I dropped him in the first round in both fights. It was pretty close the whole way, but he just he was just more dominant with the wrestling and stuff like that. He kept me on the ground more. Like, at the start of the rounds is when I was winning when we were on their feet. You know what I mean? and I was keeping it there. But then eventually he would get the takedown. The second fight, my takedown defense and all was better. But like I said, he's a real smart fighter, and he worked me in that fight. You know what I mean? The two fights were close and stuff, and it was the two of them were very fun fights. You know what I mean? But he just had that edge, I feel, in both fights, in the wrestling. You know what I mean? Because if you take somebody down and stuff, like, even though because he received shots, like he received a good bit of shots, but he still played a smart game, and he just keeps getting stronger as the fight goes on. You know what I mean? He's not one of them that just puts it all at
fades
first.
away,
yeah, it's like he receives the punishment first and then steps it up. You know what I mean? But he's a great champion, and he just won there again against Philippe.
He defended again.
And I had it in my head that
yeah.
if anybody was going to beat him in the division was going to be Philippe, and he took care of Philippe. So the only thing I feel now is going to be able to take him down, looking at the division, is JP.
Yeah,
because
sure.
JP is in there now.
Yeah.
He's going to be
In the
causing
mix,
problems.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad I'm bouncing. I don't know, did I tell you that?
No.
This is my last fight with Brave.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
this is going to be my last fight with Brave. I'm moving on. I don't know if I can, you know what I mean? But I'll tell you later. You know yourself.
That's up to you.
But yeah, this is going to be my last fight with Brave now, and I'm moving on.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's good news. So obviously from that title fight, you went on a 2-fight losing streak from there. Do you think this is something, and it happens quite often, where it's been like this long build up, where you've set your goal on the title, you've worked so hard, so many things have panned out, so many things have gone your way, haven't gone your way, camp after camp, like been busy through the, like, I mean, you stayed very active for the time you've been a pro,
100%.
and that's one of the cooler things about Brave, is that they keep their fighters pretty active.
Yeah.
So it was a hell of a year, and you get to the title, you know, you lose on a decision, on a tough battle, and then it's kind of like a
flipping.
I
fell downhill.
Yeah, sure.
So this guy, Aiden James, right?
Yeah.
I got the fight. He had beaten one of my guys, and then I was like, oh yeah, like it's good, because he only had 2 fights.
Okay.
Most people wouldn't take them type of fights, you know what I mean? Because I've kind of been on the scene for a short period of time, but you know what I mean? I made a tiny bit of name for myself, and I was just coming off a loss, so technically it wasn't a smart decision to get that fight. But I was like, yeah, a fight is a fight. I haven't
100%.
refused a fight yet, so I'll take it. And it seemed like a pretty simple fight for me, you know what I'm saying? And went into the fight super relaxed. I was like, you know what I mean? This is nonsense. This is just another paycheck. You know what I mean? I was trying to get into my head, like, don't take this guy for,
Sure.
don't take advantage of this guy, and then don't take him for granted, like. And we went into the fight. Everything started all right, and but I was just super chill, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm gonna just win this eventually, because even though, you know what I'm saying? And then so he got a takedown, and that was a stupid mistake.
Yeah.
That I grabbed his head and done something like real dumb stuff that I don't do in training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he got the takedown. I was like, nah, I'll get up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he was in half guard then. I got up. Yeah. Well, I was getting up. I got him off half guard. I was getting up, but I got up sloppy, and then he got my back.
Yeah.
When he was getting the back, I said, yeah, it's alright. I'll get up eventually. He grabbed the neck. I literally do not ever tap out or get choked or nothing in training. So I was pretty comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just relaxing, and then 2 seconds later, I was waking up from a nap.
Yeah, it's
you
funny.
know what I'm saying?
Funny
It's
you
crazy
say that,
the way that things happen.
Because when I was watching, it seemed like, and as you're saying that, it's making me laugh, because watching the fight, it seemed like even when the choke was being set, you were like super chilled about it. You weren't really like fighting the hands or like, and I was still like, okay, Frans, it's time to stop. It's time to go, bro. You know, like if there's a time, it's now. You gotta get going. You know,
no,
which
definitely.
is quite strange.
Because that's the thing. That's why. Like I couldn't even like the only thing I can do is laugh at that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was such a stupid mistake.
Yeah.
It's obviously you can do that type of stuff in training.
Yeah.
And you can get away with it obviously sometimes. But I'm just so comfortable with getting choked, and I know how to defend. And I was in, like, the choke wasn't on. I wasn't getting choked. So I was like, no, I'm all right. I'll just let him burn his arms out, and then I'll get up and smash him. And then I flip, and everything just faded.
Yeah.
And I was dreaming for a little bit. So that felt a bit good. But, you know what I mean? I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning, and I think that's something that I will definitely take to the rest of my career as well. Like, you know what I mean? The experiences with Stephen Lom, because he beat me twice, Stephen.
Yeah.
And then this as well, like, so I think it all works out perfect. That then after this adversity I'm after going through, losing 2 times in a row, which has never happened. Like, I've done boxing, kickboxing, flipping, MMA, and I don't think I've ever lost 2 times in a row ever. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
So the fact that this is happening, and then it's happening, and I'm fighting on my hometown after not being here for years. My whole family is going to be here and
Sure.
stuff like that. And then I'm fighting a guy as well that likes to bang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a striker. It's going to be. I can't wait. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to express how I feel
Sure.
about this fight, but it's going to be. And he's an experienced guy as well, so I'm definitely not going to be able to take him for granted or just think like I'm just going to walk through him, even though that's the plan. But you know what I'm saying? It's just a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful scenario.
Yeah, man. But I mean, that's amazing that you're here fighting on your country of birth. Obviously on a massive global promotion in Brave. You'll be the co-main event.
Co-main,
Yeah. On a pretty good card out in Sun City. And you're gonna have your family. What is that like? What does that mean to you? Obviously, you're saying it's hard to express what that feels like. But what does it mean to be back here? Obviously, it's super nostalgic. You've gone through this journey with your family. You're saying you're in Hammanskraal, like visiting old family, your granny. I know you told me about a tree that you used to play in when you were a kid, and all these like emotions stirring up, you know. And now you're here and you're gonna perform in front of your entire family. It'll be. I mean, they would have been able to watch you on TV over the years and stuff like that, but now to be performing live, you mentioned you're having your younger brother walking you out, having all of this stuff. Is it pressure, or is it more motivation or excitement, or what's the feeling like?
Every single bit of it is motivation. I feel.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because and it just all worked out perfect. Like I said, like I got here on the 15th, right, and my uncle was getting married on the 16th. Okay. So I didn't even get to sleep in my place, you know what I mean? I went straight there and stayed over there for about 2 days, and it was like the first wedding I've ever been to. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? And it was my uncle's after so many years coming back, you know what I'm saying? And then so that was my dad's family, and all of them were there, you know what I'm saying? I got to see cousins, people I didn't even know.
Yeah. Sure.
Families I didn't even know, you know what I mean? And they were all there, and it was a big celebration. So that was a beautiful welcome. And I just told you, I just came back from Hammanskraal as well, and that was my mom's family side.
Okay.
So I got to see uncles and all that type of, you know what I mean? It just it just too perfect. You get what I'm saying? For all to happen, like on both sides, that happened. Like they all came together. I got to see people. It was nice and emotional, and all of them are gonna come and see me fight. So I don't see any pressure in it. And as well, my little brother, you were saying, I usually have a few cornermen, like, and all of them are either like Keane just fought not too long ago.
Sure.
Kiefer just fought 2 days ago as well. And so all my cornermen are busy. Okay. And then I was looking around, I was like, oh, what am I going to do for a cornerman? I was like, actually, my little brother has never been here. He was here when he was like 2 or something, you know what I mean, for a few months. And I was like, he fights in, and the reason I thought of him, actually, he had called me. He called me. He was like, "Oh, here, I was after being looking at your fighter. He's a striker and all." That's how I know the guy's a striker. I thought he was a wrestler because it's just the way he looks. And little bro thought he'd call me up and give me some details. And then I was like, "Actually, let me just bring him over." You know what I'm saying? And then he can see a bit of the family as well. So it is all just working out perfect. Like it's all just been a super blessing. Like it's gone too perfect to just all be a coincidence. I feel.
So you feel the script's written in the stars already.
Exactly.
But so you say that doesn't add any pressure, like now to have the perfect ending to this fairy tale. Obviously, I mean it's a hell of a fight. It's
true story.
I mean it's gonna be a tough test for you.
Yeah, and on paper, he's the most experienced guy I'm fighting so
I
far.
think his record's like what, 15
and 7 or something
like that.
Yeah, he has a good bit of fights.
So it is a hell of a fight, man, and that's going to be super interesting to see how that all pans out.
Exactly.
I think it's such a rare opportunity and such a great story to see the returning son of Africa back on his homeland.
Yeah.
So just for like fans, for example, South African based fans that don't know too much about you, I know we've spoken before you spent a bit of time in Conor McGregor's camps as a sparring partner.
Yeah.
Just to like kind of give people a detail to your caliber, that you're not just filling up a card. You know, you come with a long history. You've been amateur boxer. You boxed with Ireland. You had a long amateur career. You've worked with guys like John Kavanagh, Owen Roddy, Conor McGregor. You've been part of those camps. So how do you think, firstly, what can the South African MMA public expect from you as a fighter, and how do you think those sort of mega camps have shaped you into the fighter you are?
Well, like the reason I got into them type of like the reason I got into like, because I was always training like as let me start again. From the very start of me doing MMA, I was already like sparring Conor and all, and obviously John Kavanagh is the main guy in there. Couldn't avoid him. You know what I'm saying? So I think from the very start, I just got into a good camp. You know what I mean? And then I grew with these guys and stuff. And like I said, I was sparring Conor from the very beginning, and all the other pros as well in SBG. You know what I mean? Top guys like, and so I was always fast and stuff like that. So anytime they needed like a very fast boxer, they just use me. You know what I mean? And I was very good, like, because Conor spars bigger guys than me, like, you know what I mean? And he absolutely destroys people. And I feel like, apart from Artem, I'm like one of the only other ones that I don't just get absolutely annihilated, because I move, and I know how he moves and stuff like that, and I know how to. It's always good sparring him, you know what I mean? I feel like he likes sparring me as well. Obviously now that he's a bigger weight and stuff, it does make sense to be sparring me, because I wouldn't be much use as
offering
in,
it,
yeah, because like think of if he's fighting Khabib. What am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Obviously for Mayweather and stuff like that, and a few other camps, he needed me for the speed and for the striking and stuff like that. So that being said, like people are like, oh, it must be amazing and stuff like that. But for me, it's just I'm part of the gym. They needed me when they needed me, and that was it. What does that say about me as a fighter? I'm a good, like I'm an alright fighter. You know what I mean? My amateur career definitely went better than my pro career has gone so far. You know what I mean? I had some hype coming into the professional game, and now I just blinked and I'm flipping 4 and 5. You know what I'm saying? Which is like something that I never thought would happen to me, coming from such good experiences. Like as an amateur, I was doing pros with like one of the biggest guys in the UFC. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think I just feel like I need to regain that hype right now. I don't feel like I have it now, because it just, I've always thought records kind of like show you what kind of fighter a fighter is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so looking at my own record, that just kind of downgrades it's the whole picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a tough one with MMA, man, because there's guaranteed there's going to be losses along the way.
100%.
No, okay. Barring guys that could be, but I mean, if you look at his first 10 fights, like we don't know who those people are.
Yeah,
you know
no,
I mean?
but he's a different type of beast.
So like losses are a guarantee in this game, you know, and it's a weird thing. So like you say, like I'm also like look at records and I'm like, okay, well, what does he offer? Exactly. But the record doesn't always tell the story, and that's the reality. And I think this is a question I want to ask you, because you mentioned something early on. You never turned down a fight. Do you think that perhaps you could have been a bit smarter in the beginning, because like your career is almost like it came on rushed as a pro, and like Brave, you know, you get four fights, 5 fights maybe in a year. Some guys are getting 1, 2 in a year, you know what I mean? So it's a lot, and it's a lot to go through. Do you think you could have stopped along the line and just taken a bit of time, said, okay, let me just skip this one, I'll rather be on the next card kind of thing, or do you prefer the way just to like you just tell me where to be on which day? Yeah,
but looking at the fight, like look, I have 4, right, and 2 of them was from the same guy. You know what I mean? And I couldn't have avoided Stephen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the first card on the fight, the Brave was Stephen, and it looked like I was like yeah, this little cute, because he's real cute. You think you're gonna smoke him? You know what I mean? Short, real cute guy, doesn't say nothing. I'm like, it's just another day in the office, but he's tough. You know what I mean? And then the second one was for a title, so that's 2 losses already. You get what I'm saying? My first loss was actually in Tokyo. You know what I mean? Nobody kind of knows how that happened, but it just that was one fight that I definitely, even John advised me against taking that fight, because at the time, like, I was getting ready for the fight for a while. It was a short notice fight, and I was in terrible condition. Like 2 weeks before that, I couldn't train or nothing because I was sick. You know what I mean? But I was like, there is no way in hell I'm missing an opportunity to go to Tokyo. You know what I mean? Nothing's gonna stop me. And I'd only came back from the World Championships, and you know what I mean. I was hyped up. I was like, I'm unstoppable now.
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying? I was like, nobody in China or Tokyo or whatever is gonna come and beat me. You know what I mean? It's like I don't care how sick I am. I can't train or whatever, but you know what I mean. I still have the skills. And then, anyways, I went to Tokyo. It was brilliant. And then first thing, get into the ring. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Throw the first combination, and I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I'm not gonna last in this fight. Like my body was just not having it at all. And as well, obviously doing the cut and the traveling and stuff, it just all worked out against me. But anyways, that was my first loss. And then Stephen twice, and then this bleeding last one now. That was just stupid. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at my record and stuff like that, like all my wins has been knockouts and stuff, and then apart from the losses, it just looks bad. And I think it's because it's 5-4. It looks bad. If it was 10-4, maybe it was alright. But that's what I'm gonna make it happen now. But I don't know. Like it's hard. But I'm taking it all as an experience. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And it's cool that you get to travel a lot. That's one of the cool things like a promotion like Brave. It's always moving around. You get to see these different places in the world, and that's really cool. What would you say to like fans? How would you describe if there's obviously guys? I'm sure there's going to be a few guys that are going to be watching you that have never seen you fight before. They're going to hear about this South African fellow with an Irish accent fighting in Sun City. Yeah. So how would you describe your fighting style and what they can expect from you?
I think I'm fast, and I think I'm pretty exciting to watch. You know what I mean? I'm never just like doing nothing. You know what I mean? If it does look like I'm doing nothing, I'm reading my opponent. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I feel like all my fights are exciting. You know what I mean? Win or lose, it's always a good fight to watch. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty fast. I'm not very good at talking about myself. So, I would know. You can tell them the type of fighter I am. But I don't think it'd take too long for them to realize what type of fighter I am if they're watching it.
Out of your last 5 fights, how many guys hit the canvas, whether they were knocked out or just dropped?
Everybody hit the canvas except for obviously my last fight. It didn't go long enough for him to hit the canvas, but he would have eventually.
So 4 out of 5. I mean, that's a pretty good rate. So
exactly.
I think that tells a good enough story.
All right, there you go.
You can remember that one for the next time.
I like that. Yeah.
Nice, man. So that's pretty awesome. It's going to be so exciting to have you here. I hope people tune in and pay attention. I remember the first bit we did was the forgotten son of South African MMA.
No, you coined me the what's it? You was like the Zulu Irish. Yeah. Did you forget that one? Yeah, I keep telling people about that. I was like, I got a dude, Big Al from South Africa. He calls me the Zulu.
Back in time to snap some necks and cash
true
some
story,
checks, man.
true story.
It's super exciting, man. I think it's such a great story. I hope it gets told a little bit better now in fight weeks, so we can get that exposure going.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really, really good story, and obviously the fight quality is great for the guys that haven't seen you fight. I'm sure they can hop onto YouTube, check out Brave's fights. There's some great fights there, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm terribly excited for it. Just obviously, what do you think about the whole Brave EFC scenario? Obviously, it's a weird one. You're fighting under Brave,
crazy.
so the both cards happening on the same night, which is. For me, and I try to put it out there to say it's sad in a lot of ways.
True.
And it's you know how the intentions of how it was put together we'll never really know.
Yeah.
But the sad part for me is that it's MMA, especially in a growing country like South Africa, is actually quite a small community. You know what I mean? It's not like this. It's not like football or rugby or whatever, where there's millions of people tuning in. There are a lot of people tuning in, but it's a small community in essence, and you're splitting them up into trying to make them decide. Look, it's either them or us. You know what I mean? Which is sad, because a lot of people are not going to get to see guys like yourself and Mark Hume and South Africans performing live. You know what I mean? Obviously, Sun City's a bit of a drag. It's a bit out of town. It's expensive to stay there, so people have to drive there, drive back, kind of thing.
Right.
How do you feel about this? Do you think would you have been a lot happier if it was like on a different day? Or?
Most definitely. Sure. You know what I mean? It is a bit disheartening as well, because like I train with Coach Kwan and stuff like that.
100%.
and so in the gym, like you know what I mean, there's people separated
Yeah,
as well.
split up. Yeah,
do you
yeah,
get what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like when I seen that from like when I found out that was happening, I was kind of like, what's happening? Like that makes no sense for that to
Yeah.
happen, because like the people that would have been that's going to be at the EFC could have been at this as well, because like you were saying,
Exactly.
it's a small community,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and especially in South Africa. So I was like, it does make sense, but obviously it's happening because there is no other way to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, Boyd is fighting the same day as well, doing boxing.
Yeah.
So there's three,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? There's
That's
three
the other
events
side, yeah.
happening and all. Yeah, do you get me? So it's kind of all messed up the way it's all happening. But I think if they were able to avoid that, they would have. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Look, that is my sentiment. It's just like it's a bit. It's a hard one because I mean,
Yeah.
like you know, camps are split up. There's smaller camps that are completely split up, and
Wow.
they kind of like don't know which way to go.
Exactly,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then there's like the fear of a lot of guys. What happens when Brave leaves? Do they sign on? Do the EFC take them back? Do
Right,
the whatever?
right,
So there's
right.
all of this kind of like weird setting. You know, like in the beginning, it was very much like. EFC versus Brave, which I don't think is the case.
Nah, it's not that
the
at all.
case. You know what I mean? But it's for me the harder part, the very bitter pill to swallow is from my side. I was so excited to witness a global promotion like Brave come here
Yeah.
to see how they operate, how
Yeah.
the production runs, to understand the crowds and those sort of things. And you know, now you kind of put in the situation where it's either A or B. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is and it's the same for the fans. You know what I mean? They had this massive opportunity to see a big global promotion. I mean, EFC is a massive promotion. The production is
100%,
spectacular.
100%.
But we don't. A lot of guys are not going to get that opportunity to see what else happens in the rest of
Yeah.
the world. You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
that's the hard part for me. That's a real disappointing part. But
Yeah.
you know, I have it on good authority that it's not a one and done from Brave. They will be back. So that'll be cool. That eventually down the line, hopefully we'll get to see that.
I feel like as well it opens up doors for South African fighters as well.
No,
you know what I mean?
absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
if when you're fighting, you're traveling around, like you're traveling around. That you know what I mean? That builds stuff in you. Like, it's always fun to carry to travel as well, and then that opens up doors in different places as well. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm a South African living in Ireland, fighting for a promotion in Bahrain. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sure.
And then traveling to different places as well. Like that's crazy in itself. And then that could happen for other people, and it is obviously with Brave and stuff like that. But yeah, like fair enough. Like the EFC has kind of like, you know what I mean, the monopoly on the MMA game in South Africa. But that's not good for it. It's good for them obviously making
Yeah.
money and stuff like that. But think of the fighters, like you know what I mean. There's people that are trying to make a life for themselves in this game, and just having one option is kind of gonna take that away for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
So letting Brave in and other things like that'd be good for South African MMA.
Yeah,
in
100%.
whole,
The
you know what I
sport
mean?
as a whole, because
Yeah.
it gives like maybe like youngsters see, okay, look, there's more than just one route. You know, there's an international opportunity. I
Exactly.
can be fighting all over the world.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good thing. You know, and I've said competition is always great.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really nice to see someone like Brave coming in. It's just obviously the date is a disappointment. But,
True story,
But
yeah.
it's massive opportunities even for the guys that are fighting on them. I mean, we've been having like back and forwards online with
No
different
way.
guys. You know, but and everybody kind of says the same thing. You know, look, they have this massive opportunity to be on a global promotion, regardless of anything else. That's the way they see it, and hopefully them coming back brings more and more opportunities for more South African fighters,
definitely
man,
would.
and that's
Yeah.
golden, man.
It definitely would.
Just on that front, obviously you mentioned it's your last fight with Brave. What has the Brave experience been like dealing with them for your career? Like obviously it's put you on this platform, open to the world. Just talk us through what that's been like, being a fighter under Brave.
It's been great because I have a real good relationship with the guys at Brave. Like you know what I mean, like you said, I started from the very beginning with them, like with
Sure.
KHK and stuff like that, and I've just kind of grown with them. But when you were saying earlier about like I've been fighting a lot, that just I like to do that. You know what I mean? I'm an active fighter. I feel like if I don't fight for a long period of time, my fights are always terrible. Then
Yeah.
if I take too long of a break, and I told Brave that I was like here, because my first fight with them was like I didn't fight for like six months or something. After my first fight, I didn't fight for 6 months, and it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? So I talked to them. I was like, "Here, if you want me to perform and all, you have to do this with me." And they worked with me, and then they started giving me fights. You get what I'm saying? So they do listen to the fighters, and they do work with them. You know what I mean? And the pay isn't
Bad.
terrible. You get what I'm saying? And they're taking people around the world as well, and it's a real good promotion. Like, it's a new promotion, and they're doing big things already. So it's going to be a very, very big contender in the future. You know what I mean? Thinking that it's only alive a year or two.
Yeah, I think it's 2 years.
Yeah, could be
The
that.
craziest thing about them is that they've already surpassed the UFC in terms of having promotions in more countries. I
Right.
think the UFC had the record at like 21 different countries.
Yeah.
They've just gone, I think, 22. South Africa might be the
Serious?
23rd or
No way.
24th. So they've travelled, man. I remember, I think it was the Dublin card, the European Invasion, or the one before, something like that. They had
Is this the UFC or
No, Brave.
that was Belfast?
Yeah, Belfast. Sorry.
Belfast,
So
yeah.
they had guys coming in from like 21 different countries.
Oh, a lot.
being flown in.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Logistically, that's insane, man. Like it's really, really insane. And I think those sort of things really speak to the dedication of Brave, what they're willing to do and how far they're
Exactly.
willing to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 21 countries. Most people will be like, not for me, bro.
Yeah, because you have to bring all these
Exactly,
people in.
and,
Yeah.
it's flights, and it's hotels, and it's logistics, and it's moving all of
Exactly.
these things, all the moving parts of the
Yeah.
promotion. You
And
know,
different people need different
Exactly,
visas
man,
and as well. You know what I mean?
So it's insane, and those sort of things really show what Brave is really after, what they're really about. You know what I
100%,
mean?
yeah.
They're like, cool, where you want to go? Let's go. Morocco,
Exactly.
Tangier,
Yeah.
we're coming, man. And we're bringing people from
Right.
all over the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that speaks massive, and that excites me to
Yeah.
see a promotion with, for lack of a better words, just a massive pair of balls and just be
Yeah.
like, 100%, we'll do that. You know,
And as
we'll
well,
take that on. Yeah.
and as well, like with this, with Brave coming to South Africa now, like I think I was the first one to say here. Like I'd love to fight
Yeah.
in South Africa.
Sure.
I thought that'd be in a long time. You know what I'm
lifetime,
saying? Yeah, and Jason as well was like, we're going to try and bring these over. It's going to be hard because politics. But then, like the fact that in February I was only talking about Brave coming over here, and they're here now.
Sure.
In December, like, you know what I mean? That just goes to show how much they respect what you say and stuff like that.
100%,
Like,
man.
do you get what I mean? So,
And they're
yeah.
not. It's based on like obviously supply and demand. You know what I mean? They can see that there's
True.
good fighters, there's
Yeah.
massive support, there's good opportunities for them as well. You know what I mean? Good opportunities for fighters. So I mean, obviously having guys like yourself and Chad and JP Bays and
Yeah.
the likes in the mix there really opens up those opportunities because
True,
you have these big names that will sell out. You know what I mean? Almost any arena in South Africa. You know, these are massive attractions here. I mean, even the South Africans that are featured on the card in Brave, some of the guys have been around forever.
Yeah,
Obviously, these young
yeah,
up and coming guys.
Yeah.
It's a well thought out card. You know, what I mean?
100%.
Obviously it's a bit disappointing we didn't get to see Chad fighting for the inaugural title.
Yeah, man.
I think that would have been the perfect cherry.
Yeah,
But I mean,
they would've put the
this
cherry
is-
on top of the
yeah,
cake.
this is the way things go. You know, it doesn't always go the way you
True.
exactly want.
True.
But it's going to be a great card, man. And I think if people are able to get to Sun City, I think they'll be in for a great treat. Massive opportunity to see how a big global promotion operates. I mean, obviously we do have exposure to the EFC, but
Yeah.
that's all we know. You know what I mean? Like
True.
we don't get to see
True.
the cogs of a different fight promotion. I think that's going to be great, and as well to see high caliber fights. I think that's going to be good. So, bro, I think that's it, man. Just wanted to say thank you very much for your time. Good luck for the rest.
It's always good, honestly.
Good to have you home, man.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's always good to be here.
Good stuff.
All right.
And we're out.
Peace.